What is going on, Covenant fam? I know it's been a minute. You guys already know how I struggle with my schedule and things like that. I'm trying my hardest to make sure that I give you guys what you need when you need it, but it don't always work out like that for me. Plus the pregnancy, and I got like 3 different doctors I see on a regular. Anyway, I'm almost at the end of it. The baby's almost here, so yay for that. I'm passing a covenant. I love seeing our trucks rolling, baby. Love seeing our trucks rolling. They in at 22. Anyway, so it's a mixture of things that I need to say, and normally I don't like to do a lot of face-to-face videos. I like to get you guys stuff that you can see on the road. That's going to be a bit hard. I'm about to go on my leave for the pregnancy for the baby, so I'll be gone for about 2 months. But with that being said, that gives me time to do the pay scale. I know I was supposed to do that for one of my subscribers that is, well, honestly, I don't know if he still is or isn't with the company anymore. So I'm sorry if I'm late, but I said I was going to do it, and I'm going to do it. But for the per diem and non-per diem, I have to factor in the old pay scale, because that has a breakdown of the per diem and what driving bracket gets it at what cents per mile. So now that I have the old pay scale and I have the new pay scale, then I'll be able to show you guys the difference a lot more in depth. And that's going to take place while I'm on my home time for the 2 months, because that gives me time to get the math right and make sure that the numbers are good, and not have to worry about keeping a crazy schedule like I have been this whole time. So with that being said, you guys will get that. It is coming soon. I will try to do little tidbit things here and there, because I still hear a lot of things even when I'm not on the truck. I hear a lot of stuff, and I see stuff inside the Drivers for Covenant page, and I like to touch bases on that kind of stuff, and which brings me to my next point. So there's some drivers that are leaving Covenant, and their reason for them leaving is lack of miles and better pay somewhere else. So the better pay, is it possible? Yes. But does Covenant pay crappy pay? No. Lack of miles, there has been, a downshift in miles. But you saw I just passed the Covenant, and on my way down to my doctor's appointments, I had passed 3 other Covenants that were heading north, and I was heading south. So we're running. There are trucks that are running, and I know a lot of drivers get nervous. They get scared, because the miles go away. This happens during peak season too. Now, it's crazy because Covenant has drivers that stay out for peak season. Peak season is holiday season, or like those really busy seasons that people are usually buying stuff, having barbecues, cookouts, things like that, that people are functioning, they're living life, right? So we have to be able to transport those goods, and we'll stay out. The thing about peak season for the holidays is that for the holidays, warehouses are closed, okay? So you stay out, you may get a load tossed to you here or there, whatever, but those that stay out get guaranteed pay anyway. Not only do you get layover pay, but you also get guaranteed pay. Guaranteed pay, you need to both be hazmat. I can't stress that enough. You both need to be hazmat and both be on the truck and available to run for the week, because we get paid weekly. So from that week that you start your week until the weekends, you both need to be ready and available to go anytime that they toss you a load. So your availability needs to be there. Your PTAs and ETAs need to be set accurately, things like that. You will get guaranteed pay. So it's not like you're not making money out here. It's a set rate, that taxes get taken out of, just like any other paycheck. But it's better than not making anything. Okay, drivers that go home, they don't make nothing. And I'm not saying for you guys to stay out. I'm not saying for you guys to go home. It's literally up to you. I'm telling you what your options are. But just know that if you do stay out for holidays, major holidays, to where they're federal holidays, to where things are closed, the warehouses are going to be closed. There's nobody loading trucks. There's nobody on the docks. There's nobody there. So these are trailers that, Covenant has that were already preloaded, or that were relay loads that are sitting in drop yards or terminals and things like that. That's mostly what you'll be delivering, or you'll be waiting until certain shippers come in at certain times. And like I said, it just depends. But you're getting guaranteed pay as long as you qualify for it. If you're at home, yeah, you get home time with your family. It's, a holiday or whatever. But you're not getting paid. And most people, they're like, oh, I don't care if I get paid or not. Okay, good for you. That's fine. We're not saying that you have to stay out. So it's whatever suits you or fits you at that point in time is great, right? But just for those that stay out, miles are not really going to be there. You may get tossed a load here or there, whatever, during that season time. But I don't understand why they leave for lack of miles. I understand that's how we get paid. But again, if you have hazmat, you and your co-driver, you sitting, you're still getting a paycheck. Again, granted, it's not, over 3,000 miles worth, but you're still getting something. Something is better than nothing. And this happens. And it's not just Covenant. It's not like Covenant is withholding miles and they're picking and choosing. Come on, dude, what are you doing? It's not like they're picking and choosing whether or not they're going to give you the miles or not. It's not like they're withholding all the miles and they're going, okay, this truck is our favorite, they're going to get miles, and this truck is our favorite, so they're going to get miles. They don't do that. Whoever's closest to whatever load finishes or needs to be picked up, that's who gets assigned the load. So it's whoever's in the closest vicinity. They're not going to send a truck that's in Pennsylvania to go down to Los Angeles to pick up a load because they like them more. If you've got 4 trucks waiting in Los Angeles and you got 3 loads, then 3 out of those 4 drivers are going to get loads, right? So it's whoever's in the area. That's how they assign loads, right? Just luck of the draw or random, however you want to say it. It's random, right? So, I mean, if they want to leave for lack of miles, good for them. They found something better and better pay. But there are drivers that leave Covenant for that exact reason and then end up coming back. And some of them don't. Some don't. But majority of them do. I want to say like 80% of drivers that leave Covenant come back. Why go through the trouble? I don't understand. Just, it's a down season right now. And again, we're not the only ones experiencing this. There's like, the market is just crap. The industry is crap right now. And I'm not saying not to get into driving or don't waste your time, don't go to school. I'm not saying that at all. I don't dictate or tell you what to do and what not to do with your life. What I'm saying is there's good and bad in everything. There's highs and lows in everything. So you just kind of have to take what you get and make the best of it. So, you know, the industry is not good right now. owner operators are suffering right now because not only do they have their truck payment for those that are barely getting into being an owner operator or lease purchase, not only do they have their truck payments, but they also need to be able to like pay their bills at home. So, you know, it's like they have a lot of bills and a lot of things, and they're able to charge a lot more. They're able to have a bit more freedom with their loads and stuff like that. But oh God, get it out, girl. My brain froze. They have a bit more freedom. Lease purchase owner operators, they have more freedom to do with their time and their equipment with how they choose, right? But the rates are not there. People, the customers or shippers, receivers, they're not paying what they used to for those loads. So it's a struggle for them. Lease purchase is the same thing. You've signed on to a lease to purchase your truck. So now you have a payment and you're still kind of in the middle because, yeah, you're purchasing your truck, but it isn't fully yours. So it belongs to the bank until you pay it off, right? So if you don't make those payments, what's going to happen? They're going to take your truck away from you. And on top of that, you got other things to pay at home, your rent, your mortgage, you know, water, trash, cable, cell phone, lights, gas, you know, all this stuff. Car insurance, if you have a car, you know, groceries, and let's not even get into the groceries, right? So you've got all this stuff to worry about, all this stuff to pay. So is it really worth it? But being lease purchase, you're still almost kind of like a company driver. So the terms are just a bit different. They run you as owner operator, but technically the truck is not yours. So I don't know if Covenant still has their lease purchase as forced dispatch. I'm not sure about that. Don't hold me to it. Okay. So with that being said, it's difficult out here to even make that transition. And again, it's not Covenant itself. It is the industry. It is the industry for sure. And then there are some companies that don't have that issue. Why? I don't know. Maybe they have less trucks. Maybe they have less businesses. Maybe it's only one company versus Covenant having 5 companies under their umbrella. So, you know, maybe it's every situation is different. It's not going to be the same. So, being a company driver benefits you so much more. Okay, not only are you forced dispatch, which, you know, of course sucks because sometimes we don't feel like working, or we don't want to go to Colorado when it's, you know, 6 feet of snow. You know, we don't want to go through all that. We don't want to do that. So, you know, it sucks that we're forced dispatch being company driver. Our cents per mile may not be the greatest because owner ops and lease purchase can get up in the 90s, maybe $1 a mile, stuff like that. But again, all that factors into like the care for the truck, the payment of the truck, which runs between, I want to say, $850 to like $1,200 a week, not a month, a week. So you got to do the math, right? So, you know, being a company driver, like I said, it's more benefits because we don't have the hassle. We don't have the maintenance costs. We don't have the fuel costs. We don't have all the hard things that owner operators and lease purchasers go through, right? So I don't think it's worth it to go from one company to the next, to the next, to the next, and you're jumping around, company hopping for that bag, for those miles, when it's going to pick up again anyway. So bunker down. Covenant takes care of their drivers. Like I said, as long as you have everything that you need, your endorsements, you guys are good and ready and available to run, you know, you're going to be set. They will toss you loads when they can. They try their best to spread it out so that everybody gets an opportunity to run. So, you know, I never saw the point in leaving because of lack of miles, especially when you have guaranteed way to get paid, even if it's a set pay, right? I think it's just a way for you to learn how to budget more. There goes another Covenant. I'm going north, they're going south. See, we're running. We're running. There are trucks all over. I see them on the 40 all the time. Truck stops, things like that. We are out here. We are out here. So it's the whole miles thing, it throws me off about the reason why people are leaving. Anyway, so I just wanted to let you guys know, don't be discouraged with things that you see on the page, on the Drivers for Covenant page. A lot of those drivers do not work for Covenant anymore. And if they do, they're just barely starting out. There's rough patches when you start with any company. They have to get you in the system. Sometimes you get skipped over. Sometimes your truck number is not known to them. There's a lot of things that go into things they may seem sketchy, but they're really not. Like, Covenant's not robbing you. They're not taking your money. They're not hiding it. They're not gypping you. And Covenant pays zip code to zip code. They don't pay from destination to destination. They pay zip code to zip code. So if you're feeling like, oh, they're cheating me out of miles, they're not. It's stated their policy, everything, zip code to zip code. And they're not the only company that does this. A lot of companies do this. And Covenant isn't even the one that pays for our miles. So let's see. Let's say we're picking up from FedEx, right? FedEx is like, hey, I got this load that needs to go from Los Angeles to Atlanta, Georgia, right? This is how much money we're willing to give you for those miles, okay? You have to find the best route. This is FedEx telling Covenant, your planners need to find the best route to get our load from Los Angeles to Atlanta, Georgia, and this is how much money we're giving you. That's it. So if they're giving them $4,000 for the load, they have to find the most efficient way to get that load from LA to Atlanta, Georgia for $4,000, because that's the cap. That FedEx is like, that's it. We're not giving you a cent more. So that's how those routes come about. Covenant doesn't just pick routes out of the sky and they're like, oh yeah, this makes sense, so we're just going to do this. Because most of these routes don't make sense. But again, they have to be able to show how we got the load from LA to Atlanta, Georgia. So they're going to try to find the most fuel efficient way and a way that's going to wring out that $4,000, right? So they're going to map to where the miles fit that $4,000, even though we don't see the $4,000. But, and that's just an example. I don't know how much Covenant charges for loads. That's just an example of how it works. The customers pay us to take these loads. Covenant disperses the money that we get per mile. So our pay comes from Covenant, but the customer initiates what they're offering for us to take the load, if that makes sense. Okay? So it goes back to the fact that, oh, there goes my brain again. Bear with me, guys. I was saying that I see our trucks everywhere. The miles are there. We're out here. I don't know. I forgot. It left me already. But point is that we can make money out here, and the market will pick up, or the industry will pick up. I want to say have patience, but Covenant will take care of their drivers. They are not spiteful. They're not sitting there picking and choosing and be like, oh, we don't like this truck, so it's going to sit here, because we got into it with them yesterday. Now, brings me to another topic. There are some fleet managers like that. Okay? Covenant as a whole is not like that. But fleet managers, you got some fleet managers that are amazing and they're on top of everything and they make sure that they get you going because they want to keep the drivers happy so that there's less static. And then you got some fleet managers that are a power trip and everything goes to their brain and they're like, you know, I dictate what happens and what goes on and blah blah blah, and you gonna do what I say, and that's just what it is. Any suggestions you make or whatever, they're not trying to hear that, and they think that you're being argumentative, and then next thing you know, you sitting, you know, but you call HR and you tell them like, I feel like I'm being retaliated against, and you explain the situation. You know, there is ways to go about it and do it, but you know, not all of Covenant does that. Not all the fleet managers do that. And again, Covenant as a whole, there are so many people that work in-house that you would have to go through so many people in order to get what you need done. So it seems like it takes forever. It seems like they're not doing anything about it. And that's not necessarily true. Unless you find out for sure with evidence that, yeah, okay, that is true. They ain't really trying to hear me. But then that leaves them open for a whole nother, like, situation. So, I doubt they're going to have proof just laying around that, you know, that's what they're doing to people, right? So, anyway, there was that announcement, and about the pay scale, I did that. About me going on leave soon, about drivers taking off and leaving Covenant. I'm hoping with drivers leaving Covenant that they start to open up hiring single drivers again. Not solo drivers as in like you drive by yourself, but single drivers as in like you don't have to come in with a partner and be a true team. I'm hoping that's what they do, but they haven't said anything yet. But if a lot of drivers are leaving, then I would say that I would be hopeful that that's the next step they're going to take, so that way they can get like more drivers in. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, and my co-driver is going to need a co-driver until I get back. So, she's going to come back from home time on June 21st. She'll be back June 21st, and she'll need someone to run with her for 8 weeks. So that's 2 months of you guys getting guaranteed paychecks. And this is for the drivers that are on my channel that are already within Covenant. We start off on the California side, okay? So you either need to be from California or somewhere close to it, Nevada, either northern or southern Nevada, California. You would have to be in that area, or you would have to want to stay out for a long period of time. Now, the drivers that know what I'm talking about, I posted in Drivers for Covenant, and they went bananas because they're saying, oh, and my co-driver's being demanding, blah, blah, blah. No. First off, our truck is our home. So you're coming on to our truck. You don't go to people's house and just throw your feet up and do what you want to do. No, I'm pretty sure they have set rules, right? But it's not like you can't be yourself or that you're not going to have space or anything. That she's not like that. But there is a particular way that we run our truck because our lane is very specific time-wise. So it has to be ran like that. And she is not comfortable with driving days. I mean, she's not comfortable with driving nights because she goes to bed, and I'm the opposite of that. So I love driving nights, right? I cannot drive days. Days puts me to sleep. If you can see, my eyes are really drowsy because the sun is out and it's too bright. I don't like this. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed, you know? So anyway, so she needs someone to run with her. She has no problem doing half and half days, half nights. That way it's fair. Excuse me, that way it's fair. And if you don't live on the West Coast, then you would have to be willing to stay out for like those that don't mind not going home is what would benefit, because it is a dedicated lane. The resets are always in California at the Estes terminal. Okay, the resets are always in California. We did not choose that, but because we both live on the West Coast, we're both able to go home. But if you don't live on the West Coast, you can't go home. So you have an option to stay in the truck at Estes Terminal and, you know, just Uber around wherever you want to go and go shopping or whatever, sightseeing, and then go back to the truck when you're done. And that way you can save on hotel costs or whatever. If you don't want to be cooped up in the truck for 2 days, then you can have the option to get a hotel room, but Covenant will not pay that. That is an out-of-pocket cost, because your truck is not broken down or anything like that. You're just basically on home time or a layover. We don't get paid for those, for the layover days or the home time days, for the resets, and they're just not going to cover it. So I'm just letting everyone know ahead of time what to expect, so that they're not thinking that Covenant's going to cover them to stay in a hotel, because they're not. And again, it's only for 8 weeks, so 2 months, give or take. And once that is done and over with, then, you know, it'll go back to the way that it was before. So that's another thing. And I guess just let me know on here. Send me a comment and we can talk about it. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, we have our truck. So she's staying in our truck. So the truck and her are a package deal. So if you have a truck but you want to run with her, you will lose that truck after 2 weeks. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want to lose your truck, then don't run with her. You know, it's that simple. And they were saying that, oh, she's being demanding, you're going to lose your truck and this and that. No, you don't have to lose your truck. Just don't run with her. It's out there. You either take it or you leave it. And if you're going to leave it, fine. It's okay. And you have to be platform science, ELD. And I don't think they're running the class right now, because they're on a freeze from installing them into trucks right now. So I don't think they're running the platform science ELD class. So if you don't already have platform science and you're still on a Qualcomm, you're not going to be able to run with her, because once you get logged out of the Qualcomm, you can't go back to the Qualcomm. Like, it's literally platform science and that's it. And plus you wouldn't have the training on how to use it. Now she could teach you, because it's not really that hard. It's not rocket science. We hate it, but I don't think they're going to allow her to show you how to do that. I think they have to have a list of so many people that went through the class and that they passed and all this stuff. Not that it's a pass or fail, but passed as in, like, you know, you've succeeded the course, you know, or whatever, that you were there for the whole length of time, for the 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever. And then they check you off as you got the training for it. So, again, if you are in platform science, you can't run with her. So I don't know why they're saying that, oh, she's being demanding and this and that. No, she's not. It's literally facts. Like, that's it. It's facts. You don't have platform science, you can't run. You have your own truck. If you're off your truck for more than 14 days, you lose it. I mean, so you make a choice. You either run or you don't, you know, plain and simple. And then the whole daytime, nighttime driving thing, yeah, she prefers days, but it's negotiable. And like I said, half and half is fair instead of having someone drive strictly nights and strictly days. Unless you have drivers that are opposite that prefer either or. And she prefers days, and it just so happens that I prefer nights. So it worked out perfect as, you know, a meshing team. So we don't really have those issues. So like, oh, that's not fair. And like 2 day drivers trying to drive in the daytime. To be honest, I don't see what the hype is. You know, it's hot. You got so much traffic. Everybody and their mama at all the truck stops. The only good thing about driving in the day is having parking at truck stops, because at night there's nowhere to park. So, you know, like if I have to run in or if I have to take my 30-minute break, I ain't got nowhere to park, because all the spaces are taken up from all the day drivers sleeping, right? Or the ones that ran out of hours. So that's the only good thing about days, is that drivers start at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So there's open parking spaces for me to go and pull through or whatever, or for her to find parking and stuff. But the trade-off is not worth it to me. Most of the scale houses are closed, like the weigh stations are closed at night. It's like midnight, 3 in the morning. Like, what officer is sitting at the desk at the scale house? No, they're at home with their wives and their kids, and they're in sleeping, you know, or watching movies or whatever they do during the summer. The point is there are more benefits to driving at night than there are driving in the day, because you got more cars you have to deal with merging, traffic, accidents, things like that. At night, it is a open freeway. It is an open freeway. I could see for miles. And if there's a merging car or a merging truck, guess what? I got room to get over, because ain't nobody hanging and babysitting the side of my truck. So, you know, it's easy to drive nights if you get your body used to that circadian rhythm, or circadian, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Once you get your body into that flow of pattern, the sleep pattern, you know, a full 10, 11, 12 hours of sleep, you're good to go. It's like you waking up in the morning. You know, it takes a minute to adjust to it, but I love it. I wouldn't trade it for nothing. I can't stand driving in the daytime. That's when I scream the most. You know, I don't like getting around like evening time, like 5, 6, 4, when people start getting off of work. I don't start driving until probably like 9 o'clock chat time. So, you know, and by then we already like out of California and stuff, because California is like around 6, around that time, and we already on the other side. And nope, I don't be over here when everybody getting off of work and being on the freeways. It's like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night, and everybody just traffic jam for no reason. Anyway, I could go on forever talking about why I drive nights, but you just have to have preference, have balance, and that's it. That's it. So those that praise driving days or whatever and all that, trade-off ain't worth it to me. What else was I gonna say? So if anybody has questions about driving with my co-driver, possibly, she doesn't really have a preference for male or female. It doesn't matter to her. As long as you're respectful, she's clean, you know, non-smoking, no pets, nothing like that. So, you know, just let me know. And trying to think of what else. I think I covered mostly everything that I needed to let you guys know that I'm still alive and kicking. I'm gonna get that per diem, non-per diem video out to you guys, and finally, and get the breakdown and everything going, to talk about, you know, people leaving Covenant and, you know, moving on to other things. I wish them well. I really do. But I don't see lack of miles as a valid reason, to go, unless it was consistent like this the whole entire time. Then I could see that. If like y'all don't never get no miles, then okay. But if you get miles and you was raking it in and banking and this and that, and then we had a decline, like obviously it's going to increase at some point in time. You know what I mean? So I just don't see that as a good reason to go. And then there's other drivers that have left for other reasons, fleet managers, home time, things like that. It's been quite a few things, but that's trucking. Sorry to say, it is, but Covenant is not perfect, and they're just like any other company, and it just depends on how well you've found your groove within the company. But that takes time. It really does. It takes time for you to make yourself known and established. And I'm not known by a number. I do have a number, and when I call, they ask for it. But when my name pops up, they're like, "Oh, hey, Kay, or how's it going? How are you? And, how are the kids?" And all this stuff. And, they know you. It depends on how often you interact with them, or if you're pleasant with them. You have to make an impression. But it is possible to be known within a big company. I can call somebody in safety and be like, "Hey, Jeff, it's Kay." And you'll be like, "Oh, hey, Kay, how's it going? How you feeling?" This and that. And we'll be talking. And if I need to ask him a question, he'll either ask me, "What's your truck number?" or "What's your ID number?" They don't remember every single driver that is associated with that truck or that ID number with your name. But if you tell them your name, you talk to them on a regular basis, they'll know who you are. So I never understood that. People are like, "Oh, you're known as a number." Duh. Like, that's how they put you in the system. I mean, they can look you up by your name, but it's just easier to do it by your number. So everybody just freaking out for no reason. Excuse me. As you can see, I'm getting really tired, guys. But I think that's all I got for right now. And like I said, it's just a few announcements, nothing big, no biggie. I do have some other videos in mind that I have titles for in my brain, because I normally think of like what type of video I could do, and then I title it, and then I'll end up recording it. The only thing is that most of those are face-to-face videos. I want to get you guys more road stuff. I really, really do. And I can't do that without kind of repeating like some of the like main information or whatever. So I really need you guys to ask me questions so that way I have a direction to go in, so we can discuss that, and then I can give examples or do a video on it possibly. Oh my goodness. So just let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm here for all of it. Even though I'm going to be at home, I can message in the comments on my videos, and things like that. I do work when I'm at home, even though I'm not technically working. I consider this the channel and Covenant answering drivers' calls, answering messages on Facebook, and comments on here. To me, that's all work. I'm still working at home, and I do that for you guys because I want you guys to have access to me at all times. So that way, if you're in a situation, I'm able to handle it the best way that I can, as fast as I can. So I will let you guys go on that note, and until next time, guys, bye.